Residents are surrounding ICE agents trying to arrest a mother. Watch. There's a chance that could show up on your block. That was an ICE operation that broke out in the streets of Worcester, Massachusetts yesterday, Thursday. Neighbors swarmed after agents began to detain a woman clinging to her baby. Everyday people turned activists because they could not stomach what they were watching in real time. Give you the details. Neighbors spotted immigration and customs enforcement officials intercepting a mother who was with her teen daughter and her newborn baby at about 11:15 a.m. Thursday on Eureka Street in the city. Father was detained by ICE on Wednesday, according to the local immigration justice network, LUCE or Loose. About 25 residents swarmed the vehicle on Eureka Street. They can be heard screaming and demanding agents identify themselves. What's the harm in doing that? I don't know if you're trying to kidnap me. Well, I don't know what's going on. And I've got a baby and my other daughter. When asked to show a warrant, an agent reportedly stated, "We don't have to show you anything." It's like a militarized agency turning against the people. Nothing. We don't have to do anything you say. Police arrived on scene. The woman had already been placed under arrest, but neighbors, the crowd, they were trying to block the vehicle. 2 people were arrested, including the woman's daughter. The woman's teen daughter was left holding the woman's baby and stood in front of the car in an apparent attempt to stop it. After handing the child to another person, she allegedly kicked the car and was also reportedly arrested on 4 charges, including child endangerment. Police have not disclosed what happened to the baby afterward. Another woman, 38-year-old Ashley Spring, was arrested for allegedly pushing officers, throwing an unknown liquid on them. Spring faces several charges, including assault and battery on a police officer. The mayor, Joseph Petty, now says he's disturbed by the incident involving ICE. As someone who prides themselves on leading a welcoming city, I am devastated to hear about the separation of a family, especially with Mother's Day around the corner. The fear of ICE tearing a family apart is the worst nightmare of so many in our city. Petty said the city was not notified by ICE about the detainment. So this is this kind of stalking behavior, this kind of disruptive behavior. It's anything but leadership. It's anything but leadership. It's the opposite. It's let me show up, cause chaos. Look, if that's your job and you can stomach it, you show up, you do what you have to do, but do you have to be so cruel and ignorant about it? And I mean, even the teenager, I'm not going to believe anything that the police are saying here. Not because I have any evidence to the contrary, but because we've seen too many lies being put on paper. They have discretion, you know. I'm holding my sibling, mom's getting arrested. I'm a teenager who's emotional. You have to be scared, angry, anxiety. Let's say she did kick the car. Why are you bothering to arrest this teenager? You want chaos. You want fear. This is what you're looking for. If it wasn't what you were looking for, you wouldn't be carrying it out at 11:15 a.m., not notifying the city where you're showing up to raid and disappear people. What say you, Tehran?
I say that a lot of times we see these videos and they are cruel. And that is the point. They want them to be cruel. That is what the problem is. a lot of people love to point out that President Obama or during President Biden's administration, more immigrants were removed. And that may be statistically true. However, let's look at the immigrants that were removed. They were people who had committed crimes, they had been given due process, and then they were removed. In most of the cases, the customs agents and the immigration enforcers did so in what seemed to be, at least on paper, a humane way. Now we're watching injustice and inhumanity live and in action, and they're always targeted. That is what the problem is. This isn't blanketed removal of illegal immigrants. I don't see a lot of videos and visuals of Swedish immigrants being torn from their mothers and 3-year-old Irish illegal immigrants being subjugated in court without representation. I'm not watching that unfold before my eyes, even though we do know that we have illegal immigrants from those good countries as well, quote unquote, as President Trump has presented them. What I'm expressing is that the cruelty is the point. They want to be cruel. They want to be unusual. They want to create, as you pointed out, Ms. Sharon Reed, chaos and fear, because that is what happens during tyrannies. That is exactly what happens. When I have these videos posted, people from Iran comment and say, this is the kind of stuff that happens here. People from a lot of these oppressive countries respond. We've seen this before. They've been called Gestapo. In Iran, they're called Basiji. Here, we call them ICE.
You know, you're so right about all of it. The cruelty is the point. It's why, listen, don't get me wrong, the Trump administration would have loved to start sending people to Libya. They would have loved that. But just the leak alone about what we're getting ready to do, it's imminent, is good enough for them. Does that not send shockwaves through the system? That's the point. Showing the videos of the heads being shaved and the like, the prisoners and all the details, they managed to tell us all. It's really no communication with the outside world, but yet we know how these people are being treated, right? Shaved heads, 100 people in a cell and sea caught, no blankets, nothing. Okay, we know all about it. It's not that the world's going to do anything or can, because who's going to take on the United States for crimes against humanity or something like that? But this is a sick, sick treatment. And there's no end in sight. But hey, if this is what you like, this is what you want to call your leader and follow blindly, it's what you're into, I guess.